people have talked about Taylor Lewan, left tackle. People got really excited about it. Obviously, he's not come to Pittsburgh. It's just
Right.
not happening. There is a name, Orlando Brown, that I think the Steelers should 130,000% at least negotiate with during the legal tampering period or whatever. Have a deal. See if he's at least in your budget. His market value is like $23 million a season. Boatload of money. I get it. The Steelers have the ability to create $40+ million in cap space this offseason. The dude gave up 4 sacks last year. I don't think any of them came after week 15. None of them came in the playoffs. I know that. Is he an option? Am I reaching for the stars here? Because in my head, Taylor Lewan was just whatever. Let's toss a name out there. Orlando Brown fixes all your issues. You don't have to worry about a left tackle for the next 5 years. The dude's 26 years old. He's made the last 4 Pro Bowls. I'm paying a left tackle a boatload of money if I have a quarterback that I want to succeed in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. Brown is a very, very good run blocker and a solid pass protector. I don't think that he's an elite left tackle, but I do think he's a good left tackle, if that makes sense.
Okay, explain that one. Because he's made the last 4 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I just don't personally put any stock into like Pro Bowls or even all pros. Like I just don't. I think
who cares if they're recognized nationally?
Yeah, I don't.
All right,
care.
so why not?
I think that Brown has limitations as a pass protector. Like Kansas City does a really good job of scheming stuff up for their guys on the edge, and what I mean by that is like they use a lot of like obviously tight end sets, making edge rushers rush wider. They give chips. They, do a lot of misdirection. They move Mahomes' launch point around. Mahomes is also like incredibly gifted inside the pocket just in terms of moving around. So that really helps tackles as well when you've got somebody that's, got a good sense for pressure and, all that stuff. So he gets a lot of help in terms of pass protection there. It's just that he's going to get paid elite money. I mean, it's just going to happen. Like he's going to end up being like a top 5 paid tackle. Somebody's going to give him the money. And the reason is because like good tackles or especially good tackles, but good offensive linemen do not hit free agency. There's not enough good offensive linemen in the league. Like most teams don't have 5 even average players on the offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
And ideally Brown would not be like your best player, but you're going to have to pay him like that because he plays left tackle. And
in Pittsburgh, their best offensive lineman is James Daniels. So
yeah, let me put it this way. I would view them in the same tier. I think Daniels is a good guard, but he's not an elite player. I would say that Brown is a good left tackle, but he's not an elite player. Brown's limitations as a pass protector, like he's bad. I mean, I won't say like bad athlete, but like he's not a typical left tackle athlete, and that limits some of the range that he can have against some of those speed rushers. So
that's upsetting.
I'm not saying that like, I mean, would it make the Steelers better? Like, yes, absolutely. It's just the cost associated with it is. I'm interested to see what he gets. I really don't know. I think he's an interesting case study.
$1 billion.
I think he's going to get paid.
Yeah, he's going to make $100 million over 5 years minimum. That's really upsetting. It's really upsetting because he was the guy. Like he has moved quickly into my guy because you could name a boatload of players that fill a boatload of needs, inside linebacker and cornerback and defensive line included. There is no issue that I would rather fill more than left tackle with a prominent left tackle. I'm not just going to go out and draft any left tackle and feel good about it. I'm not just going to go sign a Taylor Lewan or anybody and feel good about it. It's got to be a quality. This is immediately the left tackle of the future addition. I thought that was him. I guess
it's tough to find tackles, man.
I guess I'm wrong. So what's so let me ask this. If that is not the option, I do want to talk about inside linebackers here in a minute too. But if Brown is not the option, if a free agent is not the option, there's maybe 2 guys. You've said this to me. There's 2 guys in the draft that you feel are better than Dan Moore right now. If neither of them slide, you're just saying it is what it is. And then really what I'm trying to get at is, Do you just continue to wait in the draft for the right answer if you're the Steelers, even if that may never happen?
I mean, you can draft a guy to develop. There's guys in this draft that I think have like higher upside than Dan Moore. But like, for example, like popular picks that I'm seeing in like mock drafts and stuff, like Broderick Jones. Like Broderick Jones will not beat out Dan Moore next year. Like if he's the pick, like
No,
he's
it's
not ready.
who are your two? It's Paris Johnson, and who?
Yeah, I think Johnson and Skoronski would both beat them out. And like I personally think Skoronski will be a guard at the next level, but I do think he could come in and play tackle better than Dan Moore can right now, just because he's so incredibly technically refined with his hands. And the length is going to hurt, but I still think he could be like a functional left tackle for sure. And then Johnson, I think that he's just an incredible athlete with an extremely high ceiling, and he's already a pretty talented pass protector. There's some technical stuff that he's got to get done, but he played left tackle in high school, moved to guard because that's how Ohio State wanted to get their best players on the field, and then he moved back to tackle. And like through the first like 9 weeks of the season, he allowed like 5 pressures or something like that. Like he wasn't even tested until later in the year. But Jones, to me, like he's scary. Like I think Broderick Jones might be like a year away from being a year away. Like he's definitely a good player, like a really good athlete, but the way like his hands are really scary. And I've watched some SEC pass rushers like kind of get after him a little bit, and it just worries me. I don't think he's ready. So
okay. So do you go pick 32 and take a tackle? In my latest mock, I have DeJuan Jones at 32 to the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that a move?
And like I don't even care. Like if you were to take Jones at 17, like I'm okay with that. It's not like my preference for sure, but if you want to take a tackle early, that's fine. My point is I do not think Jones. I'm very, very confident that Jones would not beat out Dan Moore as a rookie.
Yeah, I don't think
he's 20 years old. He's 20 years old too, so I want to say that as well. Like,
yeah, he's young. I don't think anybody come in here and beat out Dan Moore. I just don't think. I think Dan Moore is.
He's going to be the tackle next year.
He's going to be the tackle.
He's going to start at left tackle next year.
The Steelers want him to be the tackle. Is it the best move? I don't know. I don't think so.
We can talk about that. We could debate that.
Yeah, like that's our opinion doesn't matter in this instance. It's what's going to happen.
The Steelers left tackle next year.
Yes, but at least now we have an understanding that you don't have to have a top 10 pick to land a guy to replace him eventually, which I think is the only concern, is that next year is the year that you have to decide if he's the future of that position. I think as of right now, could all predict that they're going to say he's not going to be that guy. And yeah, he's always tired as hell. Always. The guy doesn't sleep ever. He just works, is a dad to 12 dogs and a daughter, and talks draft. That's what he does. But at least we know.